Right.
Nice.
What's up? This is episode, I think it was 17 of the Big Lou podcast.
17?
We're
Oh,
hustling.
crap.
So I won't lie. I had 9 episodes or 8 episodes last year. I started probably in February and I rolled them out maybe through to June and then I just stopped. But now I'm more prolific. That's the theme for the year, prolific. I
Nice.
dropped maybe 10 episodes so far. No, yeah, 8 or 9 episodes so far in January. I'm doing like maybe 2 every week or so. Some of them are like 10, 15 minutes, just me by myself. Some of them are with friends.
Yo, okay. Yo, I like that. That's
Yeah.
dope.
So this is the Big Lou podcast. For those of you that do not know, my name is Big Lou. This is DJ Chad Wickham. Would you like to introduce yourself, my man?
I'll keep it simple. Been a DJ for 10 years as of last year. So that's been a milestone
Damn.
for DJing and for an entertainment company that I co-own with Delaney, also known as Dello. It's called Vybe Kingz Entertainment, and it's a 10-year anniversary for both me DJing and for our company.
That's
And,
crazy.
Yeah.
That was last year?
Yeah, last year September would have been 10-year anniversary.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations. That's nuts.
Thank you, man.
Wow,
Thank you,
10
thank you.
years. So are you guys, obviously this is past September, so 5 months ago already. Are you guys gonna do some kind of thing to
Yeah, actually,
celebrate?
we're doing like we're kind of like in a transition right now, business wise. Like we're doing you're gonna be this. No one else knows this. It's not public information, but we're transitioning from general partnership business to incorporating. So we're
Oh,
fully
cool.
incorporating Vybe Kingz Entertainment, and that was supposed to be part of our 10-year milestone thing to do.
Right.
But of course, for those who know incorporation, there's a lot of boxes to check
Yeah,
to get there,
steps.
and we're not rushing it. But we're trying to get it done in this first quarter of the year. And after we're finished, we want to do a launch party, basically
Cool.
celebrating the milestone of 10 years, but also like saying, look, like this is a brand new
Yeah.
beginning for
Entity.
us. We're incorporated, and what that means for us going forward publicly.
Cool.
So yeah, we're excited.
Cool.
We're excited.
Congratulations. That's a huge step.
Thank you, my man.
Are you, well, I don't know if it's too early or if you're willing to disclose this kind of stuff, but are you guys trying to like find a physical space to call home? Are you guys trying to like get investors to grow outside of London? Or is it still all too early?
No, it's not too early. I mean, like from the beginning, Delo and I's goal with Vybe Kingz has been one, to unify African people and Caribbean people under one roof.
Mhm.
Also to diversify the music available from our that people know in London and Southwestern Ontario from our regions.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the goal has been for Vybe Kingz to be bigger than us. And so we knew that this day was coming at some point. And we already thought of all the big things that we wanted to accomplish when we get there. But we're like, look, like,
Gotta get there.
we got to get there. It's not going to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is the incorporation part is like, no, actually starting to see that like big vision that we had in mind.
Yeah.
And part of that is team growing way beyond what it is right now. It has grown a bit. Number two is like you mentioned, we'll be looking for investments and investors. We'll be looking for a physical space at some point, and very soon. That's one of the key things that we want
Cool.
to have is a space, well, for our team at the office, but also a space that we could use to practice, a space that we could use to produce, because Dello also he produces, and I do a lot of remixes, and I'm gonna be kind of slowly transitioning into executive production role, more than actual like specific production, but Dello. So that's something that we really want to get into, but we need space.
Executive production in terms of like events or in terms of
In terms of music
projects.
and
Oh, cool.
music projects, and actually and events too. But that's something that's technically something that we started doing already, but we want to do it on a larger scale in terms of event production. So that's yeah. These are some of the things that we
Casual.
want to get we want to get
so
into.
For those of you that are less familiar with Chad, he's also an engineer. And so I don't know how much time you spend doing that. Is that full time versus full time Vybe Kingz and full time everything else that you do? Like, how do you find managing all of that?
That's a good question. I've been figuring it out as I go. But I'm a full-time structural engineer. And Vybe Kingz is, I would say, I it's part-time but still full-time, because I mean, as much time as I could invest in growing Vybe Kingz, I'm doing. Dello now, thankfully which is part of our growth. Is Dello is now full-time in Vybe Kingz.
Oh, cool.
And that's something that's happened recently.
That's dope.
So that
Shout out Dello. That's dope.
yeah, big shout out to Dello, because that is gonna help us to get where we want to go faster.
Yeah,
And
of
that's
course.
always been like our not roadblock, but
It's a hurdle.
is a hurdle.
It's
in
definitely a
terms of,
hurdle you
like,
got to get over.
speed.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want more people involved, but we want to set the foundation nice, and this definitely helps. So,
That's huge, yeah.
but yeah, full-time engineer, but then I would say full-time Vybe Kingz, because everything else that I do in terms of music and everything else, even quote unquote outside of Vybe Kingz, technically is true Vybe Kingz. That's what I feel
Right.
it is, and that's how I kind of approach it. So from that perspective, is almost full-time itself as well.
So not that you have to choose, but like if things went super well with Vybe Kingz, would you step away from structural engineering? And I don't need to show your employers this.
No, that's yes. I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why we created Vybe Kingz is for it to, one, like I say, grow bigger than us. But if it gets to that point where it's like, look, like, it's big enough. Like, why am I?
We could do this.
We could do this.
Yeah.
Like, and we can
Yeah.
move on. We could build from there. So
Yeah.
I would say yes. That's very much feasible and very much possible. And I would like that we'd get to that point where it could be like, let me put my full time into
Yeah.
something that we built together.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I love that. That's dope. Something else that I've admired in your hustle is how you also like diligently support your partner Jaleesa in her business as well as a small business owner. So not only do you have like, you know, your full-time job plus your own business plus life, you're supporting her. How does that affect your energy? Does that give you more energy because you're kind of like removing yourself from something you're doing to help the person you care about the most? Or like, does it get tough sometimes? And how do you communicate that with each other? Make sure you're feeding each other.
That is a good question. There are definitely tough times. Ultimately, it helps my energy, because I always tell her, like, it's her business 100%. But our house, our home that we're building together is us contributing to that. So her business contributes to our wealth and health and everything else. So me helping her with her business helps us. Like, and that's how I think about it. Is her business, but at the end of the day, it helps us to build in general. So with that mindset, it helps me build that energy, because I'm like, look, like, I'm ultimately contributing towards what we're building, like, together. So yes, there are hard times. There are times when we're both really busy, and like I help her, she helps me too with my business. So there's
100%.
times when we both like we need to bounce stuff off each other, and it's like, oh, like we have so much going on, and it might get frustrating sometimes. But then at the end of the day, we come back to the fact that look, like we already know building a business is not easy. We know that we're gonna have these hard times. We might get frustrated in a moment, but then we know that we could come back to the center and be like, you know what, I was frustrated. I maybe like didn't address this properly because in that moment I felt overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, look, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing something, building something bigger than ourselves together, and something that belongs to us, in some way, shape, or form. And so that's how the energy recenters itself. Once we could always like come back to that realization that look, we're on the same team.
We're on the
at
same
the end
team.
of the day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
despite like challenges might arise.
There's last time I was talking to someone, I was talking to Big Z on this podcast, and I brought up the dude named Alex Hormozy. Do you know him?
No, I don't.
He's like some massive entrepreneur guru, and he scales businesses to hundreds of millions and sells them. He's just really knowledgeable in that world.
Nice.
But some of the stuff that I listen to, he talks about his business, but also like lifestyle and personal and relationships. And he was talking about, because his wife also helps him in his business, but she's a super knowledgeable, very talented individual as well. Very driven, very ambitious. So sometimes they're gonna like butt heads.
Yeah.
Which is fair, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't love each other by any means. Just that's what it is. It's a relationship. But how do you navigate that, and how do you not let it affect it for too long? Because you know there's consequences to that. And one thing that he said is, after my whole lead up, is if I say something and there's two ways to interpret it, a positive way and a less positive way, assume that I meant the positive way because I love you. You know, it may not have came out that way. I may have been frustrated and I might not be thinking clearly, but like I'm not trying to hurt you ever.
Right.
You know, like I'm still here with you. Let's assume it's the positive way instead of just assuming the negative way and then that going down that spiral of emotions of like you said this, and that can cause a lot.
and we're human.
We're
It
human.
happens sometimes. And
100%.
that's another thing is like in the moment. Like sometimes you get overwhelmed. You have these situations in the moment, and that's a really good perspective. Is to be like, I had this moment. I might have said this. It came out wrong.
Yeah.
Or it didn't come out the way I would want it to be perceived from your perspective.
Yeah.
But understand that, like, look, we're in this together. I love you. Understand that my intentions are the positive.
Yeah.
Rather than the less positive.
Exactly. And
So
maybe an
I like
apology
that.
too. That's
Always.
not bad either.
No, 100%.
That's
and,
not bad.
and it should be an apology.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day, it's like communication. It's easy and it's hard at the same time. Like I always say, like a lot of issues in this world come from poor communication.
Yeah.
Like we have really intelligent people. Like,
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff happening all over the world, so many different things, and then I feel like a lot of problems like stem from poor communication, or poor understanding of one individual from another. And if you could just like come back to terms and be like, look, like this is what I meant.
Yeah.
And then the other person could sometimes the other person never understands. Sometimes you don't actually ever come to
That's just what it
an
is.
understanding.
They don't want to. They choose not to. Some people choose not to understand as well.
And that too.
Yeah.
And then it's like you gotta figure out when to press that end button.
Yeah.
And not keep the ball rolling, because then no one wins.
It's hurting. Yeah, exactly. No one
wins in the end. So I'm here with it. I'm here.
It's that hard conversation that's hard to have. It's a simple concept. Just talk about it. but it's that emotion that we stir up in ourselves, and the fear and anger and resentment. I don't know, different kinds of things. I'm guilty of it. Don't get me wrong. I've shied away from many
Oh,
hard
yeah.
conversations.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that outside of your relationship, but in your business relationships? Do you encounter that? Not necessarily maybe with partners, but with people outside, vendors, whomever. I have my fair share. We can talk about it
Yeah,
too.
like this. I have countless stories, and we don't have to get into the details,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's tough, especially in a professional setting, especially if it's like a client, because you might get into a situation where you don't like how a client is communicating things to you,
Mhm.
and are how they're going about certain things, but then they're still your client, and so you gotta find that like the they know that the whole customer is always right concept. It's not like the customer is not always right, but at the same time, the customer is your customer. So it's like,
There, yeah.
how do you find that happy medium? With standing your ground and being respectful in business from a business aspect,
Right.
but still getting your point across. Because I come across, it happens with Vybe Kingz, it happens at work. Like
Yeah.
I have stuff at work where I have to deal with this a lot, and I've learned. I think I've gotten better at learning how to like still be professional, still be respectful, but still not being like yes at everything.
Right.
Because yes is not the answer to everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You end up digging yourself a hole, and ultimately it throws a bunch of stress, unnecessary stress on you, because you're like holding in everything,
Yeah.
and being like, oh, like I'll just say yes, or I'll just approve this just because this is my like customer. It just drives you.
Yeah.
It puts you in like a very bad situation, and it's not. It
So
is
what was
no
your
one.
solution?
So my solution is always be be straight up from the beginning, but communicate in a way that is respectful. So I find like, so like for example, I find like someone like somebody might tell you something at work or in a situation, and it immediately upsets you, right? Like I got one today too, like for work, and it triggered me, and I'm like, the way to deal with it is not to respond right away. You respond right away, that response is gonna have emotion.
Yep.
Naturally, because that's how you feel. You get emotional, you get upset, and then there's less logic. You didn't get to put in the logic to it, and then that turns out to be a bad result. So like usually a situation like that comes up, either I would draft, I'll try not to talk on the phone, because then there's more elements. There's your tone,
Yeah.
there's
And it's
everything,
immediate.
and it's immediate. So I'd be like, look, like I'll write an email, preferably or some form of like text. But I won't write it right away. And if I do write it right away, I'll send it to a colleague to be like, look, how does this sound to you? Does this sound aggressive? And I actually had that situation today,
Yeah.
where a client sent something, and I was like, this is insane. And I sent my colleague, I was like, bro, like this is what I want to send him. And he's just like, yo, that last sentence is kind of aggressive. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
You're right. Like, and that's because that's exactly, he told me like this sentence, he said like this is how it sounds to me, and I'm like, that is how I feel. So that's why it's like that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go grab something to eat. I was about to take a break, grab something to eat. I was like, look, I don't need to respond right away. If I respond right away, then there's a problem. Go grab something to eat, come back,
Yeah.
logically discuss it, be like, look, let's come up with a response that communicates the same exact thing. Same thing. It's still saying, you're telling me bullshit. But it's saying it in a professional way, and and then it's offering a solution, but not aggressively.
Right.
So it was the exact same thing I ended up sending,
Yeah.
but it was way less.
Yeah.
There was no emotion. It was
To the
so
point, communicate what you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I find that's the way, like if you could like try to remove emotions, look at something objectively.
Yeah.
And if you can't, talk to somebody else before you make a response. Talk to somebody that will be able to like see it objectively
Yeah.
before you communicate. And so like when it's Vybe Kingz, then I'll run it by Delo if it comes up, or run by Jaleesa, or if it's at work, run it by a colleague. Because I already know, I've done it enough times to know, like, look, like, let's not go down that road because then
Shit.
there's consequences.
Yeah. It's a waterfall after that.
Yeah. So try. It's not easy, but try to extract the emotion, and if you can't, like, talk to somebody, like, send them it and be like, how would you feel if you received this from me for this situation?
Yeah.
And if they're, let's say,
then you know.
then you know.
You received enough information to
Yeah.
change. No, that's dope. That's dope. I know. So some of the things that we get to in this podcast are just kind of like lessons around the things that we do as independent musicians slash entrepreneurs. So that's the reason for those kinds of questions. But you guys got an event that you're coming or that's coming up next Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm working at the restaurant, so I can't go. But it's Winter Waistline.
Waistline Therapy.
Yes. Sheesh. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. So I guess I'll start with I'm part of a nonprofit organization called Island Fest London. The goal essentially is to promote and elevate Caribbean culture, educate people about the Caribbean. That's a big pillar. And much more within London and southwestern Ontario. And the primary way that we do that is we host a annual festival called Island Fest. This year is gonna be the 4th year. Lewis performed at it every year. I brought amazing vibes. Definitely a core component of our festival, and we always have to have Lou involved. And so this year is the 4th year, and also the 4th year that we're doing this Winter Waistline Therapy is a fundraiser. It's like our primary winter fundraiser for that festival.
Oh wow.
And he said every year up until now, it's been a comedy show plus an after party, and it's been phenomenal. It's been sold out every year actually. At one of our great partners, Fort River.
Yeah, it's a brewery.
It's a brewery. They produce our Island Fest lager, which
Delicious
is like
beer.
a lime flavored lager, and yeah, they're amazing partners, and they host us there every year for this Winter Waistline Therapy. This year, we decided to like switch the comedy component out because we were like, look, 3 years we've done it. Let's do something different. Give people something different because they've seen comedy shows 3 years. We want to bring the same event, but like just change it up for everybody. So this time we decided to replace the comedy show with a performance component. So what we've been trying to do is dig a little bit deeper because I'm the entertainment coordinator. So one of the things that we've been really trying to do is find more talent within London and surrounding areas to get involved not only at Island Fest but in like events like this leading up to Island Fest, because this is the opportunity for us to, like, we know like the great talent that we've had at the festival.
Mhm.
Let's see who else we could get involved
of course.
and give an opportunity to.
You create an infrastructure with that as well.
Exactly. So we're like, you know what? Just take out that hour of comedy and let's actually give people like, let's create a little bit of a sample of
Island Fest.
A very small sample. So we're replacing it. Right now we have two performers that are never seen them perform yet. I've heard some of their music. It's one artist is from Dominica. And Dominica has a song that's kind of been blowing up. It's been trending within the Caribbean and even internationally now. It's called Bouillon.
Yeah.
And this artist, he has some of that. He has some some hip hop and
He lives in
R&B.
London?
He lives in London, yeah.
Oh,
And I actually ran into him at a festival. There was a festival that I was DJing at, and I ran into him there. He's like, "Oh, like I'm from Dominica. I live here in London." I'm like,
you know his name
like,
right off the top?
Sleep Deluda.
I haven't met him yet.
Sleek Deluda.
And
And
yeah,
the other artist, she's
Asha?
also based Asha. Yeah.
I
You
think
met her before?
I've met her before. I thought I saw a poster. That's why.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, Empress Asha.
yeah,
So she's performing. She's a dancehall reggae artist,
yeah.
but and DJ. So we're gonna have her doing both.
She DJs now?
She DJs too. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, oh, cool. I didn't know she DJ'd maybe before, or if she learned it. But that's dope.
Nice. So you know of her.
I've seen her
You've seen her.
perform maybe once or twice at a Simple Reflections event.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
She does like you described, more dancehall reggae kind of vibe.
Nice. And we actually haven't had much dancehall reggae acts at Island Fest. I mean, there's two reasons for that. One is like we try our best to keep entertainment family friendly, and it's
Dancehall
a little bit more difficult with dancehall.
Yeah.
But the other reason, and it's fine later in the night, which is why we've been trying to get more involved. But the other reason is that we have technically two other festivals that
Reggae Fest.
we have Reggae Fest that is reggae, so people get the opportunity to get a whole day
Proper
or
reggae
even
experience.
more of reggae through that. And then there's Jerk Fest, where is a food festival, but still, of course, we know jerk originates from Jamaica, and so a lot of the performances kind of like
Yeah.
evolve around that all reggae. So we try not to have too much, because we know that those two festivals are gonna bring it to the city.
Right.
And that's how we kind of try to keep our festival different. We don't want people to be like, oh, like this is just like Jerk Fest. We want everybody to be able to go to all three and get an experience from all three of those festivals. So that's where.
Do you do entertainment for all three, or you focus on Island Fest?
Only Island Fest. I just go to attend
Right.
Jerk Fest and Reggae Fest. But
Community
Island
partner
Fest
kind of
is
thing,
yeah.
It's its own thing. Do you, as the entertainment coordinator, how do you look for people within the city and outside of the city?
That is a good question. It is an interesting task. So over the last couple of years, I have it's kind of been like somewhat a bit of research from my part.
Mhm.
So I did kind of looked around trying to find like between music office and all these different even simple reflections. That's actually how I found Asha is
Oh,
through
dope.
simple reflections website.
Yeah. There you go.
Like I was like, this is dope that they have all like their artists on there, and I'm like, you know what? Or this is
Yeah.
how we find
Yeah.
other artists that are around that
Yeah.
you might not even know, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to have with Island Fest, is like we want to showcase as much different like Caribbean influenced talent
Yeah.
around the area. So
Yeah.
between research and word of mouth, like I asked, so when I talk to other performers and ask them to apply, like, look, if you know any others, send them over to me or forward the application to them, and then I could go through, because we have the application form. And I actually spent my time just going through the content that people submit,
Right.
because there's a spot where they submit their videos. I could go and like check out, see like if there's any videos of them performing, and then run it by the team. Be like, look, like this is how can we use all these applications that have been submitted to create as much diversity throughout the weekend in a way that makes sense, and make it a production for everyone. So between word of mouth, looking at different sources online, members of our team, recommendations and everything, kind of like helps us to pull together things. Apart maybe for the headliners, I dig a little bit deeper. I try to think of especially from early, try to think of like just for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, be like, look, like these are like kind of the vibes that we're looking for. Who can we find that will help to add that little extra sauce to the festival?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I would go about doing it. And then that 100, a lot of it depends on the budget too.
Yeah.
And how much funding we are able to get. That's been that is where like the a lot of the work I feel comes in is like just finding that happy medium, because I mean I know how it feels to be a performer
Right.
at an event, and I never want to be like, even for the festival, like although we're nonprofit, like we gotta value the entertainment at the end of the day.
Right.
And so the goal has always been, look, like let's try to get as close to performers quotes as possible. Try to get as much fun as we can. Don't like don't lowball. Like if we can't afford, we just be like, look, we can't do this year.
Have that conversation.
And have that conversation unless the performer's like, look, like we'll work the budget. But
Yeah.
we try to find that happy medium of getting as close to their fees as possible and being able to create a show that is amazing for the city with the funds that we're able to attain from the various sources. So yeah, that's been a mouthful, but that's
I'm just loading you up with questions. Shit.
They're good questions.
I'm actually curious because I want to plan a couple of events this year, and there's a lot of wisdom that you guys have. So I'm extracting as well personally.
You've helped us too. You've helped us even with our applications for funding. Like you've helped so
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
What's it like, a testimonial?
Yeah.
Artist testimonial I've done, and then like you said, I've performed there 3 years in a row. It's a great event. A lot of food. The food is fun, like fantastic. The vibes always. They're not ironically called the Vybe Kingz. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one component of Island Fest in its entirety, and I really do enjoy it. I mean, I booked off the entire weekend so that I can just be there, and I only performed one of the days, but I was there every day. So that says something. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to see more people there because like, not only Island Fest, but there's a lot of cool festivals happening downtown, and downtown is really challenging. But we're trying to restore the city, but that's another risk.
Yeah.
Or another challenge I want to say that we're facing in terms of creating a livelihood in terms of the music scene in London.
It is a challenge. It is.
How are you dealing with like getting people out and making them feel safe and stuff?
Man, it's tough. It's tough. Like I don't know if I figured out how to get it, how to make it work. To be honest, like Della and I, we've tried so many things. Island Fest. Thankfully, we've been lucky in the sense that we've gotten tremendous community support. Like when it comes to our events, like went to Waistline Therapy, although it's not a massive venue, but pretty much most, or if not all, of the events that I've been able to curate with Island Fest, they've been sold out. Like
That's awesome.
Which is amazing. But even like I still don't, I still haven't figured it out. Let me be honest. Like I've tried things. Sometimes stuff works, but I can't, like there's no like pattern or correlation that I can say, yo, like
let's do that again.
Let's do it again, other than when it's like a special time of the year, which doesn't count. Like if it's like Halloween, like the event is sold out, man, but it's Halloween. Like, I can't. So yeah, I have no like knowledge of if I have to do an event on any given day. How do I get that? So like get people to come up? No idea.
It's really bizarre. I've had people outright just tell me, "Well, your event is downtown, and I don't feel safe downtown, so thank you, but I'm not gonna go." And like I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. And then I've had events outside, like we did Showcase Sundays at Masonville Mall, and I had people be like, "Nah, that's North London. Who's trying to go out there?" So like, you can't please everybody, one way or another. I will admit, perhaps I can improve marketing wise with advertising and
Same.
retargeting and all of that world that I don't fully understand. But like, it's just so hard, especially with our lack of infrastructure in the city. With in terms of like not a huge choice of actual venues. They're like bars with a stage, or you know,
Yep,
like
you're right.
just navigating that is so hard. I was talking to Big Z as well. We don't have like music managers, publishers. We don't have ample promoters out here. Like those things, elements of the music industry, just,
They're not. Yeah,
they're not.
and I mean, and I guess it's deep. It runs deep because it's like you want to say, yo, like there should be more promoters, but then you're like,
Need more artists to promote, more people coming to events to have promoters work. I don't know.
yeah, and what we're doing, we're contributing. Like at the end of the day,
100%.
we can't stop. Like as hard it is hard. Like we can't stop because this is how maybe there's more people that come in and do the same thing as us
And
and helps to bolster things. Because it's like I always am like, look, there's 500,000 people in the city. And it's like so hard to get 100.
it's so hard.
Like, and I'm not talking about us doing something in a weekday where it's like, all right, it's Tuesday.
No.
We're talking about Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday.
When people actually want to go out, but they don't necessarily even really want to go out, but they do.
And you talk to people and they're like, oh, like you should do more events. I've gotten this so many times.
You should do more events.
You should do more events.
And then they also say there's nothing happening in London. It's like, what are you talking about?
And then when you do something,
I'm busy that day. I'm tired. I'm sick. I've got other plans. I'm out of the city. I just don't want to.
and then what drives me up a wall sometimes is like some of these or the scenario where it's like, oh, they want to discount your tickets are too expensive.
Yeah.
And then the same people leave London to drive 2.5 hours to downtown Toronto, pay more than we charge for our events, and they do a 5-hour round trip.
Pay for parking.
And pay for parking
Probably get
downtown,
food.
which is 40 plus. Like, unless you're lucky or you park somewhere else on Uber, which obviously you pay for the Uber. So 5-hour round trip, parking, food, drinks, like, and then cover that is more than the cover that
event.
we're charging.
Yeah.
And then they complain. They come to our events locally where they drive half hour max.
Yeah.
And then they complain about paying $20.
Yeah.
Mind you, there's always usually like a cheaper ticket if you pay earlier.
Even that. Yeah. And
then-
$20 is not expensive.
And $20 is not expensive.
Not minimum wage is $17. You know what I'm saying?
Fair,
Like
rest our case.
enough said, I suppose.
$20. Oh man, and yeah, so that kind of drives me up a wall because it's like, how do we progress in the city? How do we have a more vibrant entertainment scene if our local population says that there's nothing going on, doesn't try to seek if things are going on, but then they decide to leave the city to find
the same entertainment.
I get it. Toronto is a melting pot. They have amazing events and a variety of events.
Great.
Don't get me wrong, but if you're leaving London just to go to one, don't say that's expensive, and then don't just go to a regular club night in Toronto.
Yeah, that's rude.
Like, like I get if you're going to a concert and that artist doesn't come to London, I can't blame you. You
Yeah.
get to Toronto to see something that you could never get in London.
Yeah.
But if you go to something where
I suppose some people just don't want to be seen going out in London. They want to like be obsolete or incognito.
it's like, I don't know, it's like we have to have this conversation, a public conversation with some of these people because like I don't get it. Like I don't
know.
I don't get it, and it's like we're trying to create
We're trying to create something here, yeah.
something here, and we're not Toronto. Like,
Nor do we
and that's
want to be.
fine. We're London, Ontario.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this city. There's a lot of opportunities to do something new.
Yeah.
Experience something different.
Yeah.
But then people like, I feel like they want like the same. It's hard to like do something new too. Like,
Yeah.
even like if you have like a nice if you do the typical event, you might likely get more people, but then when you try to experiment to do something unique, oh man,
It's too risky.
or do
People
it in a unique location.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I don't know if that's gonna be good, and then they don't come. Good.
Yeah. You know.
You know what I would love to do though? I think Brad's coming soon, by the way. But I would love to gain access or create a small venue space. Like 100 people, you've got a bathroom, you've got a coat rack for the winter time, a stage, a bar, and a sound booth.
That's it.
That's it. No fucking tables, food, all of that. I mean, maybe you need peanuts or something for legal reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
Pizza.
we'll order pizza in. You know what I'm
Order pizza in.
saying? And then sell the slice, whatever. People will have food, whatever. But doing that in like a basement / a back den that can then open, you can have an outdoor stage during the 2 months of summer that we have. Maybe even less this year, who knows? But I think that'd be so good.
Hey, no, don't say that.
Or I don't want to jinx it, but if it snows until May like it did last year, it's 7 months of snow. Just saying.
That is true. But fingers crossed, we don't get snow until May. March, please. But yeah, we don't.
That's a long ass.
We'll ask for it, but we know how things have been.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Man.
I feel like we spoke about a lot of business things. How long has this episode been? Oh, 43 minutes, not so bad.
Holy crap.
Big Z and I went an hour and 20 the other day.
It's easy though, honestly.
It's easy.
We're going down that rabbit hole. Like,
Yeah. It's jokes. Okay, so I got one more question in terms of the Island Fest stuff. The event itself is in July, so when do you start looking for people?
Performers?
Yeah, specifically
Performers?
Performers, yeah.
I would say headliners start from the year before. And in general, I would say end of January. So after the fundraiser, which would be, so our fundraiser, Winter Waistline Therapy, is next Saturday, the 24th of January. And so towards the end of the month, that week after, essentially like our performer applications are gonna start from them. Once that Winter Waistline Therapy is done,
Nice.
then we start like putting out applications. And this year, for the first time, we're going to actually make them public. Because in the past you would send them out. It's all been like privately sent out. It's been a public application form, but not promoted on social media,
right,
as a like call to action. So this year, for the first year, we're gonna actually make it public, and you have to see how things go. It doesn't hurt at all.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess you wanted a little bit more control at the beginning to see what it was, and then now you have a gauge. Exactly.
I wanted to kind of just see how everything works out. with me kind of like hand selecting and the team hand selecting and going that way. Now we're gonna see now based on the following that we've accumulated, and now that we have like a nice system down pat, let's see like who we get that we had no idea existed out there.
Right. What about headliners? How far in advance are you communicating with them?
So headliners, normally is towards the end of last year. I would have started. I'm actually behind this year. So it's also gonna happen. The bulk of it is gonna happen in March, like the bulk of it, because after Black History Month, usually like a pretty busy time. Like also get over that hump, then I'm like 100% dialed in on
Island Fest vibes.
Island Fest and like making sure because headliners, especially like we had one international one the last 2 years. Of course, it takes like a decent amount of communication, which is understandable, but I always want to make sure that I'm able to like those like conversations, make sure that everything is good, so that like when the festival comes, that we could make sure we deliver.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth operations. Avoid extra stress the day of.
Exactly.
Damn. Okay, dope. We could definitely keep on chatting. I think Brad's coming soon. We could wrap up this episode and then chill with him for a little bit. See what
Kicks on the door.
I'm here. That's funny. I think he's popping up real soon. But this was dope. Can you let the crew know where they can find any more of your information, where they can follow you, where they can support, that kind of stuff?
First, thank you for having me on the podcast.
No problem.
Always a pleasure.
No problem.
Always a pleasure. Just chatting with you. So thanks for having me on here.
It's been too long.
Hope there was something useful.
Man, there was so much wisdom. Absolutely.
But you can find me on most platforms. Same handle is DJ Wickham Music. Pretty much all the known platforms, even including Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. You name it. Yeah, DJ Wickham Music.
DJ Wickham Music. Did you know that there's a stream together feature? Did you know of that before?
Yeah, it's newer. Yeah.
You used it?
I have not used it.
Oh,
You should try it.
I want to definitely try that. Yeah, I want to learn a little bit more about this. But for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button real quick.
Subscribe.
And if you are a Twitch person, go ahead, follow that. I don't know how to do that yet. I'll add the link in the description, I think. That rhymes. Boom. My name is Big Lou. This is Big Lou Podcast, episode number 17. Thank you for being here. If you're here until the end, I appreciate you so much. And it'd be an honor and a privilege to see you in person, in real life, one day, real soon.
That's it.
Ciao for now.